Right guys, we're back, starting a fresh video for part 2, installing Ubuntu. So we left off here at the preparing to install screen, where I said to you, you had to have at least this amount of hard disk space, and you have to be plugged into a power source and connect to the internet, because once we're installing we can download updates. I'm not going to download updates right now because it just makes things go a bit slower. So I'm just going to do a quick install of Ubuntu just to show you what it's like and how to do it. So once you're happy with this screen, you just press forward. And here we get to a screen where it asks you what you want to do. And it's saying to us that the computer has no operating system on it, which is fine. So we can erase it and just install Ubuntu, or we can set up a partition. And I'll make another video of how you can set up a partition and have a dual boot with like Ubuntu and maybe Windows later on. Right now we're just going to go for this option here, just erase disk and install Ubuntu, but there is nothing on the disk as it is a virtual machine. So just choose this option here and just press forward. Then you just choose the drive up here if you've more drives. I've only got one. And that's everything set up. And then you just hit install. And you just let the Ubuntu installer do its work. The installer with Ubuntu today, I think, is a lot easier than it was in the past, because in the past you had to deal a lot more with partitions and creating swapping file areas and different partitions and like that manually. But now Ubuntu does all this automatically, and also with dual booting, like with Windows. It was a lot easier because you had to do, like I said before, set up the partitions and the swapping files all manually. But now Ubuntu in the latest versions detect the operating system that you've got and try to install, and they try to install Ubuntu alongside it, which is really good. And while it's installing, you've got this screen here where you can set up the time. So you can set this up while it's installing. So once you've picked your time zone, you just hit forward. It'll take you to the keyboard layout section, so you can choose which country kind of keyboard layout you want. I'm just going to leave it as the United Kingdom because I'm using a UK keyboard. And here we have different like sub sections of the United Kingdom keyboard layout. We can choose these different ones, different types. I'll just leave it standard, United Kingdom. Or if you're not sure, you can hit this button and Ubuntu will detect the keyboard layout that you're using, which is good. just hit forward again. It should take you to another window to choose some options. I think that's the user account in the setup where you choose your name, password. So here you can choose your username. So you put your name in, and then you can choose your computer's name, and then you can pick a username. But as you can see, once you put like something in this field at the top of your name, then it puts in everything else. So you can change this if you want to. And then you choose your password. And then here it shows you if your password's strong or not. And then you can choose to log in automatically, or you can choose to require my password to log in, which means you'll have to enter your password every time you boot into Ubuntu. So if you want that, that's good, but for speed, login automatically is the best for speed. And then you have another kind of security option where you can encrypt your My Home folder. So in Ubuntu you have a My Home folder, and you can put files in there, and then by checking this it'll encrypt everything in it. Once you're happy with all of these things, then you just press forward. It takes you on to the next bit. And that's really all the kind of like setup that you have to do while it's installing, because then it just brings you to this kind of it's like a slideshow where it shows you some features of Ubuntu, and you can just flick through this while you're waiting for it to install. So it's good for just passing the time while it installs. So Ubuntu is quite a good, it's a good free operating system. I've used it a few times on my netbook and some older computers. And it's a good free operating system if you don't want to go and buy a license for an operating system like Windows. Then it's a good free operating system. And it has all your regular browsers and like familiar software, Firefox and then Chrome, Flash, and I've got your word processing like abilities as well, your LibreOffice and OpenOffice. Ubuntu is very customizable. That's one of the more positive things about it. You can customize a lot of it. It's probably one of the most customizable operating systems you can get. Plus you have a lot of free software, like freeware software with Ubuntu, which is good. The only downside I would say about Ubuntu is that you don't get a lot of big professional like suites like Adobe and other like big name software, and that's the only bad thing about it. But the free software on it is good. For being free, it's very good. So I'm just going to pause the video, and I think I'll have to start on a part 3 video again because of the time restrictions. It's about 10 minutes, so I'm going to pause the video and I'll come back once it's stopped installing, because there's nothing really else for you to see here. So I'll see you in part 3 in a couple of seconds.